Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more of the Roottrees Are Dead, and hoping to make a bit more progress than I did last time. So I think I may have found a bit of an inroad into a new avenue, again down this kind of Jim and Diamond route. So in this it said something about Peter Janowitz from MMM, and if you spider search his name, he works for a magazine, Modern Music Monthly. So if we just copy that and then go to periodicals. See if we can find something about Jim Roottrees. So a review and interview from '79 titled "A Reluctant Hitmaker, Jim Goes Into His First Band." Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C&J and J&D, which we read about last time, with my cousin and his ex. Okay, so this would have been it. Yes. So if we look at the family tree again, so we know that his first wife was Danielle. I think Jessica, heavily indicated to be his second. It sounds like they made the band at around this time, though, after they'd split up. Reading that. Or he's just talking back about it. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters, so the four of us had sort of a cutesy family band thing going on. Not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her youngest sister, everything exploded. No more family band. Ooh. I'm not quite sure of the timeline of this, but they weren't married at the time of this band, by the sound of it. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music, but even then we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I've been told Rollin' is like that. So Clark got to be in advertising, so that sounds like he kind of made jingles. But that wasn't my goal. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh. But I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of the decade, he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. He started Raffa Tunes. We'll have a look what that is in a minute. And he's a much better jingle writer. It sounds like it could be an advertising agency or something. A much better jingle writer than songwriter. Okay. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to Roottree. All of his old ad campaigns... maybe he was in advertising as well. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player, but I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. Right. Good. Well, I've been wondering for a long time what this guy's job was. And he was in advertising. Oh, hello. So that was key. Over halfway now. Got Elias C. Yeah, we did guess him correct then, photo-wise. We've got some other lock-ins here, which is good. And Bonnie was a housewife. Perfect. Okay. That might not be him then. Although these two might be the wrong way around. So let's put you there and you there. But she's locked in. No, not there though, which is interesting. Let's read that entry again. It's definitely a J. I only had two Rafferty LaRue's there. No, I'll leave that how it is, I think. Okay, let's continue reading this. So we had this Raffertunes thing. So I wonder if that is going to lead to anything. Ooh, got a picture. A website about Raffertunes, Clark Rafferty LaRue's advertising firm. On it, there is an About page, and you find a picture labelled The Inspiration for the Famous Super Bowl ad campaign. Below that, more detail. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children, and when his wife was trying to get his youngest, Katrina, to calm down for the picture, he had the idea for the Roottrees Super Bowl ad. His youngest, Katrina, okay. So Katrina is his child. But he did have... Yeah, I mean, it depends when it was, obviously when that was written, doesn't it? So, so that'll be Katrina. Wife and children. While his wife was trying to get Katrina, the youngest, to calm down for the picture. Oh, hang on. Okay, so we have another picture of Carl then, older man. Oh, yeah, I get it. So his name still was... It says X. I'm going to take that out for now. We'll go Katrina here. But then maybe... Yeah, maybe that... So that is wrong. That must just be... I'm not sure on that now. I'll have to come back to that. The picture's right, the name is wrong. But I think he's got 2 children, and I think it's Jessica. And so I think these are their photos. Should we put them down as sort of students? I guess she's probably still quite young, so I'll put her in there for now. The Roottrees Maple Super Bowl commercial from '94 is a family bickering in a department store, and the father bites into a Roottrees Maple Crisp. Time stops and a jingle plays while he dances down the aisle. As he does, different things in the department store become Roottrees candy. For example, a bed that the father collapses onto becomes a giant chocolate bar. The jingle, Need the Rest, went on to be featured in other commercials with other scenarios. When you're surrounded by madness and mayhem, reach for the best. There's enough there to share, but let's face it, you need the rest. I don't think we've actually read this. Mixed in with the recent news of the plane crash, there are a lot of results for Roottrees' extremely popular candy products. Their official website is unstable due to traffic. However, you find a direct link to the history section that manages to work momentarily. The candy company founded by Elias, shortly after he married Gwyneth, we know this. For reasons that aren't explained on the page, it has no CEO and no stockholders. Instead, it's run by a president with input and votes from extended family. The site does mention that every president has been a direct descendant of Elias and Gwyneth, including Carl, who despite his death is listed as the current president. The product that put them on the map were the 5 pieces candies, Sister company called Root, it specialises in children's clothes, okay, so nothing hugely relevant right now. I guess she could be in college by now. Probably not, though. So this would have been sister to Diamond. The only other LaRues I've got are these 2. They could be Roottrees, couldn't they? She did mention, Jane LaRue mentioned a sister though. This is confusing. I've got Diamond LaRue again. Oh, we got something else here. Diamond Dazzlers is the name of the official fan club for Jim and Diamond. Still send out a Christmas card every year, accompanied by some pictures, as well as some history about the fan club. 96, including pictures of Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf, as well as a note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. Okay, let's quickly go and look at that then. Description said, Wolf listening to his parents' latest music. This confuses me now. So one of these is Wolf, right? Oh. This is Jane LaRue. Reason being that so she's a musician, we know. And she said something about, oh, my, don't ask me about my sister. Who would be them? They had a big bust up when Clark initiated relations with her. So is it his Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf? So I presume he's the youngest, probably a student. And that's him. Oh, we've got 3 more. So who have we got? We've got Wolf, Jessica, and Katrina. Good. Okay, they're locked in. Got some more pictures locked in. Cool. Ah, we're at the threshold of getting some more stuff now.
On the phone, I said I owed you an explanation. But I can't reveal everything. Not yet. I'm sure this all seems like deception for deception's sake. So I'll try to explain why. It's true, I'm working with lawyers. But not the candy company lawyers. My publisher's lawyers. I'm on the verge of releasing a book. And it's not kind to the Roottrees. Especially Elias and the 5 Pieces. The truth often isn't. But with the plane crash, the publisher is rightfully worried it'll look like I'm making things up to exploit a tragedy. So they're doing their due diligence. That's why you're here. To be sure there's enough evidence for an expert to unearth the whole story. If I tell you the whole story now, we can't prove that. I hope you understand. That said, I can say that the work you're doing is very personal to me. To my story, one spot on the tree is more important than the rest. You've likely noticed it. It's locked for now. I'll return one final time, after you fill it in.
Is this Sam?
Also, there are fewer Roottrees left. In a sense, that makes it easier. Use process of elimination. It's also harder to verify when you're right.
No.
You'll need 4 blood relatives before they lock from here on out. I don't have any more evidence for you, but trust your intuition. If something has a high number, it's not a mistake. You're getting closer and closer to the truth. I look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, let's have a look at where we are. So we're doing quite well on the central bit. There's a lot of like spouses' names I don't have yet. Looking for Jim and Diamond's oldest child. Made inroads here, but there's obviously a little bit more to be done. There's a Kim LaRue. I reckon that's probably her. Don't know any more about her just yet. So we're getting down to who has the root tree name, and it's going to be someone here. How many root trees have we got? Candy, Jack, Christina, November. Oh, November. It's actually her name. Oh, wow. I think that is November then. Her placement is a little bit random, to say the least, but I'll leave it like that for now. Yes, there is quite a lot who could still be root trees, so it doesn't help an awful lot. We were running out of... yeah, these might not be Hudsons. In fact, they're probably not. I'm still interested that this one hasn't happened. She's in politics, so unless something's happened... okay, we've got that. Let's go back here, because there was... his daughter's band, the Floozies, so let's look up that now. An all-female punk band operating out of New York. They're mentioned in passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently they were the opening act for the band the reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual, and not because of the music, which she described as loud, fast and repetitive, but not in the good way. The trio was extremely cagey about their identities. The reviewer asked the venue who they were, and she was told they were rumoured to be the children of other famous musicians, and didn't want that to be why they became popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive, and not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. They were probably losing a fortune. The reviewer said that although she bought a copy, she would be unlikely to ever listen to any of it again, except maybe Beef Baby, the 7th track. There's no pictures of the Floozies performing live, but the cover from the CD they were selling has been added to your evidence. Well, let's just look this up as well. That just leads back here. Can't actually find anything else about it. Right, nothing to really go there, but we have this. Credits say Candy, Nikki, Nina. That looks like a lead guitar, so this would be Candy. I presume it's Candy LaRue. Oh, okay, yeah, she's a Roottrees. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why I said LaRue. Candy Roottrees. I'm pretty sure that'll get locked in. I'm happy with that one. I'm pretty happy with this one too. I mean, I'm happy with the details, everything except the placement, so that's a bit up in the air. The thing that makes me think this is correct is that he was her diary said that the sort of worst transgression was bringing home partners that wouldn't have been acceptable in the southern states, which makes me think this was probably a mixed race marriage. That definitely makes sense. Okay, so I think I've finished off this musical tree. There's going to be a picture with his wife in there at some point. Kim LaRue. Jane LaRue. Yeah, I mean, that all makes sense. I don't think I found anything about a Kim LaRue, though, did I? Yeah, I think... Okay, so... My list of names. Still so many I don't have. I'd move her, but the fact that her spouse has been locked in, we know they're together because of this. This is Stephanie. God, there's 9 things off here still. She could be Stephanie... Landon. Well, yeah, was she Stephanie Landon? And this is... Mark Landon. Because I've been confused about why she's not been ticked off. There's a lot of inspirations coming off this one thing. There's still something on here. Done quite well here. I think there's still 6 on this page, which is to do with Clark. I think it's to do with the occupations of that generation. Interesting this didn't get marked off either. He married someone called Patsy, so... Could be Patricia Christensen. I missed that there was another Patricia. So let's put that in. Was it Madsen? Morden. Not a lot here. Zach Morden, son of... He was known as Zach, so that, maybe I should search for that. Son of James and Gwendolyn. Elias entrusted me with carrying on his legacy. Is what I plan to do. Will not be making any changes. Okay, so let's just search for Zach then. I might look in this periodical for all the people who were like the presidents. So we've got Guy Hudson as well. Along with his twin sister, no stranger to the public when it comes to the Roottrees snacks, they both appeared in the company's advertisements as children during the Boys and Girls Agree era. Now Guy is taking over the company at the end of the year. Who would have known that one of those two adorable redheads... Yeah, okay, that's how we already kind of guessed that. Guy credits his mother and father, Angie and Christopher. Okay, did we know there was a Christopher? Oh yeah. With providing his fiery due, arguing over everything but chocolate would grow up to take over the whole company. Guy's uncle and current president Zachariah has decided to take an early retirement to focus on travelling the world with his wife. Nice to know who they were, what her name was. Zach was quoted as saying, "Now that our daughters have started families of their own, Clara and I..." Okay, so I didn't have Zach's wife's name, now we have Clara. That'd be Clara Lansing. Plan to reflect on a life well lived. Guy is new to the business world, but he's family. We at Roottree have faith in his innovative ideas and he's eager to share them with the world. We like to think that the boys and girls agree that he's ready to succeed. So what if I spider search that? Ooh, hello. You find a site about successful ad campaigns. One of the ads listed is from the late 50s, Boys and Girls Agree, a series of television and magazine ads for Roottree chocolate bars. Campaign described as having the premise that boys go... Blah, blah, blah. Bright red hair of the boy and girl involved. Well, that's going to be... I think I do have space for alternative pictures of these two, so that's probably where this is going to lead. Here we go. Yeah, so we've got that info. Let's just add in their alternate photos then. Yeah, is this guy in the black and white? Have I got like anyone's picture back in this black and white era? I haven't added yet. So that's that guy who was kind of just in the background. I think this is going to be a fairly rich vein though. So, okay, so that's Guy, Zachariah. Let's do Ernest. Ernest Madsen Jr. Article from 1995. Root president to take over Roottree. Due to heart illness, Ernie Jr. is stepping down as president of Roottree at the start of the second quarter. His second cousin Carl, president of sister company Root and former Watch of the Year, will take over. It has been 13 years since Ernie was forced to step into the role of president unexpectedly. Back then, not much was known about the man other than his full name. In the years since, he has taken on a bit of a reputation as a real-life wonker. He's known as a bit of an eccentric and reclusive, opting to be called simply Ernie Jr., and to forego the typical luxuries of the average Roottree. But in our estimation, he's been a shrewd businessman with an eye for sweets. Developing new products, including the ever-popular Maple Crisp, we could look that up, and by spearheading the formation of Root. Learning of Brenda Roottree's power in the fashion community. I think we knew that. With Ernie Jr., I guess we've got everything with him locked in. If it might have mentioned something about his sister, I suppose that might have been nice to know. But let's look up this. Recent products. So I think we've seen the Super Bowl ad. Okay, so that's all the presidents looked up. Now we know that people of this generation were sort of quite arty, so actually I wonder if we look up each of these magazines really for the others. So we've got Gwendoline Morden. Let's look her up in the others as well. Okay, so nothing there. We've got her sister Caroline Morden. I wonder if there's like an art magazine or something. I haven't seen anything yet. Let's keep doing this. Gwyneth Madsen. Look up Candy Roottrees. There might be something more there. Kind of would like are any of these guys artists? Like a magazine that kind of deals with art stuff. I feel like she looks like an artist. It might be completely wrong. That's what she looks like. That's probably a bit silly, but okay. So we've still So we've got a few things here. Yeah, I think this is just relating to the free spirits jobs, which is a bit difficult to narrow that down right now. I think we've got everything related to that. Still something here. I guess because she's not been locked in yet, perhaps. Do we have a Nikki and a Nina in the like the family tree? No. Okay, well that was just a thought. Just go through all these and just see if there's anything that still has inspiration on it. I don't think a lot of them do. Nothing on here. So this is Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendoline. So that's got to be Mr. Morden. It's interesting I don't have a photo to go with that. We're not doing too bad here, actually. So we've got... I think she's going to lock in. These... I think they're in... Well, I think these could be switched, but I think they're broadly in the same kind of place. Right kind of place. So we're not doing too bad there, I don't think. Have I got her picture on the... Yes, that's got to be her, hasn't it? I guess she may not be a Rafty LaRue because that would be her married name, wouldn't it? So, okay. Okay. 9 on here. Yikes. Is that a period? Is that good? Can that be a periodical? Butler County Times. Oh, it is. The most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results. Apparently won. Okay, we've got a full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. You do find the following. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon, which we've kind of just figured out. Okay, she grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. Okay, so that's kind of what we had intuited before as well. Though she is a distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother, Caroline, a local artist... I did say she was going to be an artist, didn't I? She looked like an artist. It's the cap, I think. So Mark goes there. And then she's got a female partner here. Right, let's go back and read. Though she had a distant cousin, who has appeared on the front page... Okay, we'll search that for Caroline then. Has often come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees. Like my mother, I'm not a fighter. I want to bring love to the world. Okay, so let's search that again for Caroline Morden. Hopefully we'll get a picture. You find a cover story about local art installations, including one by Caroline Morden. There isn't much about Caroline as a person. This is mostly a listing of art in Butler County. She seems to get top billing. Accompanying the story, there is an image of her standing beside a large metal sculpture of a mermaid. It is captioned Caroline standing next to a sculpture, Atlantis Burden. The sculpture is one of many works featured in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait. Okay, we've got a book by Caroline here, so we've got to remember that. According to a quote further down, Atlantis' burden is meant to symbolise a society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. The picture on the front page has been added to evidence. Okay, so let's look up the book first. And this is by Caroline Morden. Dedicated to Eloise and Stephanie. Now this is interesting because in my list I have someone who's listed simply as Eloise. Could be like an artist name or something like Madonna, or you know. I was wondering about that. Okay, well let's put that in there now. What else do we have? Mostly black and white pictures of Caroline's art. The centerpiece is a series of full colour nude self-portraits of different ages. They have certainly not been added to your evidence. She talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generation, and in her late teens she felt betrayed when her sister Gwendoline and cousin Bonnie, we've got both them placed at the moment, gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, who she calls completely bogus. Okay, well this gives us... partner's name over here. Oh, okay, we've got 4. I mean, you'd have to... Well, okay, well, it's definitely not Gem. But then you'd have to imagine that these are all going to be Wilsons now. So I just as a reminder of that, I'm just going to stick the other Wilsons in here, and presumably they're going to be in a different order at some point. But it at least lets me know that that is the Wilson tree. Wilson! There we go. That's probably Stephen. Jason. I don't know. For me, Jason's more of a younger generational name, I guess. But let's keep reading. Their marriage has led to her to double down on her passions, art and the environment. She even married a man who is the opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. She comes out strongly against the Root Tree Company's effect on the local environment, and rues how she was not able to convince her father, Zach, to make changes to policy. She also explains that her marriage to Mark, I think I had Mark Landon down, didn't I, led to the most volatile moments in her life, all negative, and that the only good thing he ever gave her was a daughter, leaving them all behind for good, has pushed her to pursue her true loves, art and the beauty of women. Cool. Well, let's look at the evidence that we got then. So here we go. This is Caroline next to her picture. Her art, I mean. So that's good. And then we also... Oh, was that the other thing? Maybe that was it. But that's okay, because I think that's definitely her... Oh. Let's look at that picture again. The wavy hair. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's her. I mean, that's definitely her, isn't it? Gwendolyn. I'll put housewife again. It said they gave up their dreams to just kind of... Yeah, there we go. 36. Got Candy, Gwendolyn, Caroline, and Stephanie at last has got locked in. Bunch of other stuff. Booyah. Okay, so we're getting quite a lot locked in now. We're actually at 37, which is pretty cool. So let's put her other photo back in. Now, interestingly, November didn't get added, so that's still a bit up in the air, honestly. Feels like we're motoring now, kind of. What I was thinking my next step might be then is to look up in all the names of people who are kind of leading into other people, just in this Butler and County Times thing, whatever it is. That might be quite a rich vein of stuff, actually. So let's start with that. Let's start all the way down here. Let's go to Bonnie Hudson and see if she comes up. We've looked into Guy, but it might include a spouse's name if we search from here. Although the Butler County Times does not archive their obituaries, they did a front page story in '82 about him and his wife, Patricia. We have one more Patricia who's not locked in, so that'll be her, dying in a car accident. The story itself is surprisingly light on relevant details due to the recency of the accident. Police reported that the crash was caused by an unidentified driver who swerved in front of their car, causing them to brake hard and veer off the interstate. Although Guy was a somewhat controversial president, foul play is not suspected. Was he the one who introduced the caviar flavour? There were witnesses who reported that the vehicle which instigated the wreck was speeding, swerving between lanes and cutting other drivers off as well for at least 5 or 6 minutes before the tragic accident. One witness says it could have been any of us who they eventually ran off the road. The aggressor fled after the accident and police have few leads other than make and model. He'd been president for only 4 years. He and his wife had no children. Yeah, so that's them. But we've got Patricia. That'll be Patricia Jones. Yeah, that didn't get locked in, but that was like I'll tell you, I'll put Stephen in there. Stephen just seems like a slightly older generation name than Jason, so hopefully that gets locked in at some point. But we could look up Gwendolyn Morden now. Nothing. Caroline, we finished off her tree now, so that's good. We have Gwyneth Madsen, though. Nothing there. This side of the tree is all finished off. Look up Kim LaRue here, maybe. I'm going to look up Clark Rafferty as well. I'd like to know his wife's name. Did I look him up in the music magazine? Or maybe the business magazine? It wasn't advertising. These times, okay, so these times, I think we've seen that. Just seeing if there's anything new here. Clark Rafferty, Jim Roottrees, and two of the Lurie sisters. Amateurist folk style songwriting. Okay. What about November Roottree? I doubt these guys will appear because they mostly live in Hollywood and France. Elias Roottree? Yeah, that's not him. Okay. So in terms of this generation, who's not been locked in off the photo? I mean, November could also be there, I suppose. As a youngster. I need to get into this. What about if I look up Wilson's? Zach and Jem. I didn't even know if they were all going to be here somewhere. We still have quite a lot of actual Roottrees. Who's likely to have the Roottree name? These two. And this one. A Tessa, Christina, and a Jack. So that's got to go there, but I mean, who goes where? I have no idea. I could look up Ronald Roottrees, I suppose. I could look up the names I don't have yet. Jack, Christina, Tessa. Maybe just on a spider search. Who else could I look up? Wilson's as well, maybe. Hello. Dr. Stephen Wilson is a paediatrician who practices in the north of Pittsburgh. Although there are a lot of Stephen Wilsons and Dr. Wilsons, this one apparently found a way to game the search results as he pops up top every time. His website claims that he is the paediatrician to the stars. The only evidence for this is that he apparently was the doctor to the Roottrees sisters. There is a picture of him on his website, as well as a picture of his 3 children. The 3 of them look as though the photographer was holding them hostage. Regardless, the photos have been added to your evidence. There is also a quote that, although credited to his child Jason, you suspect might not be written by a 10-year-old. My dad is the best dad in the entire world, and he treats every patient with world-class care. He will treat your children like he would me, my big brother, or my sister. So he's either the youngest or the middle, Jason. I currently have him in the middle. Let's have a look at what the photo looks like. Yeah, okay, so Jason's going to be the youngest. So yeah, we've got 3 kids. College student. I still don't have a picture of Stephen Wilson though, do we? So this is going to be Jason. This is going to be Zach. And this is going to be Jem. And I think we're going to go with college student. College student. Young student. Alright, pictures wise, got him. Got her. Got him. Have I got 4? Have I got another one that I think I'm waiting to get verified? I'm going to put her as a housewife for now until I know otherwise. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that one to potentially get verified. So the student... Go back to this. Oh, there's another photo. Aha. I mean, he may have graduated to do something else, I suppose. I mean, he's no longer a college student, I guess, and she might just, I don't know, she could be anything. How will I get down into what they do? Not sure. I mean, they could be right and another one's wrong. We do need 4 to verify. Which doesn't include this one. We could look them up in the local paper. Did I already do that? I can't remember if I did that. I probably did. Yeah, I guess I did. Did I? No. Maybe I did. But I think that's probably a good place to leave it for now. Definitely feels like we're making inroads. Obviously some gaps, and I'm, as ever, slightly bewildered as to what I need to do to, you know, get the key piece of evidence that's going to unlock all the rest of this. I mean, for these guys, I haven't even got any of their wives' names. I'm not quite sure how to get those, but yeah, we're definitely. I mean, we're making progress. 37 out of 49, and I think the last one is when we look in this envelope. So yeah, definite progress being made. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have, if you could hit that like button, that'd be fantastic. Do leave a comment as well. Let me know what you thought about this episode and the game and in general. And if you're watching this and not yet subscribed to the channel, if you could do that, that'd be fantastic. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.